You ever thought, what happened to my sense of wonder? How come I don't try new things or explore new topics, hobbies, or experiences anymore? Why am I having trouble understanding someone or where they are coming from? Today, we are going to take a moment and explore what happened to our curiosity and why it has been replaced with something much more immovable: certainty. Lessons Reconsidered is a reflective podcast about the lessons we think we've learned and what starts to change when we take another look. I'm the Teach. On this episode, we're going to look at the correlation between certainty versus curiosity. What happens to us when the world shapes our sense of wonder? More importantly, what happens when it strips it away? Let's start with an assumption I once held. For most of my life, I believed that if I thought something through clearly enough, I would arrive at an answer. And once I got there, that was where I was supposed to stay. It created this sense of certainty. I was able to think about this and work through whatever I needed to, whether simple or difficult, to reach this conclusion. The work has been put in, so the conclusion of what I think must be solid, right? This made sense to me because it felt sturdy, it felt steady, it felt whole. It feels like the work has been done. It feels like we can stand for something. All of the lessons I have acquired in school, through life lessons and life experiences, and everything else led me to this truth. It led me to this understanding, this certainty. And in turn, the certainty shapes my understanding and view. It would give me something solid I can hold on to about the subject or the world. The problem with this lesson really is that this created limited wiggle room for things outside of my understanding. Because I was so certain, I left myself no room for curiosity. I remember conversations where I didn't even realize I had already decided. Someone would be talking and I would be listening, but I was mostly also preparing my response, preparing my position. And somewhere in that, I stopped being curious. Not because I didn't care, but because I wanted to land somewhere. I wanted to feel like I had it, like it made sense, like it was clear. And the faster I got there, the better it felt, but also the less I actually explored. Growing up, I watched the adults around me stand firm, be so inflexible in their views. I see that constantly today. We tend to talk about the generations that just can't seem to get it. Those who tend to have the strongest opinions about a topic that seems to be easily understandable are just not able to change their opinion or mind, adjust their worldview to get with the times. They become so dug in and entrenched in their thinking that they can't seem to understand anything anyone else is telling them. They have created the certainty that molded their understanding of how hard it is to change. I've questioned their sense of flexibility in their thinking. Where and when did the curiosity die for them? But in its place wasn't entirely certainty. It wasn't something that they even felt solid to begin with. It always felt like they were trying to defend a position, one that paints them in the position of being right. It was a position of greater authority in how they are viewed, rather than in how accurate their understanding or explanation of the topic really was. If I were to look deeper, it felt more like fear, fear that they might be becoming obsolete. Like the younger generations know more than me. They don't require me for knowledge. They don't need me anymore. I wasn't fully able to understand, let alone identify that feeling until I got older and it made more sense to me. Everyone is surrounded by so much information and has access to it on devices they even carry in their back pockets. The way of storytelling or from older people imparting knowledge to younger people have changed. Now, there are larger sources and methods of acquiring knowledge, and we have machine learning and artificial intelligence. Now, more people are having the feelings I saw in older people when they thought they were being surpassed. With all these tools at our disposal, I think they have killed curiosity in most of us. There will always be a way or a place for us to get the answers we seek. Why do I have to be curious about anything? Why do I have to think about things and actually explore them more clearly? Why should I go deeper when everything is easily accessible? At some point, the question doesn't matter when you can always get an answer. We then become less curious, but more certain. Certain that the answers we seek will always be found, whether they are correct or not. This thinking destroys our curiosity. Our thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and knowledge becomes less important. We gain much more certainty without really having to think about it. This is the process in which my curiosity died. So, thinking about what shifted, what I've noticed now is that certainty can feel like understanding, but it can also be a way to close something early. And curiosity feels very different from that. It doesn't close, it stays open. And that used to feel uncomfortable. Now it feels like something I need more of. I want more of in my life. Like it will help me evolve in some ways. What's still unclear, what I'm still unsure about is how to stay in that space longer. How to stay in that space without rushing to resolve it, without needing to land somewhere immediately, without rushing or feeling rushed to get an answer or to come to a conclusion. They say life is not black and white. Instead, it mostly consists of shades of gray in between. That is where most understanding comes from. There is plenty of room to remain curious as we all explore those shades of gray. I'm still trying to, one, live in those shades of gray, two, understand life is not just black and white, and three, strike a balance between certainty and curiosity. I wanted to say this out loud and see what stayed. That's where I'll leave it. But let's shift it to you. I want to add some reflection questions here at the end for you to ask yourself and follow up with. I hope that it gives you deeper insight into how you relate and engage with this topic. These are questions I am pondering myself. Where in your life have you become more certain than curious? When was the last time you let a question stay open without rushing to answer it? Is there someone you struggle to understand because you have decided who they are? What belief do you hold tightly that might need more room around it? What would it look like to protect your sense of wonder again? What would it look like, or what would it be if you were to allow yourself to have a sense of childlike wonder? If this content spoke to you in any way, I would love to hear about it. Please reach out at Lessons Reconsidered on Instagram, Facebook, Substack, and YouTube. There will be a Substack before each episode that dives deeper into a topic. You can also reach the podcast by email at lessonsreconsidered@gmail.com. There will be a link tree in the description for you, depending on the platform you have found this podcast. I would like to thank the incredible Matt Mogson for the use of our intro and outro song, Break Down Those Walls. You can find this and other incredible music by Matt Mogson on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, and Apple Music. Thank you for taking the time to revisit old lessons with me, and I hope it gives you more insight into the lessons that have helped shape who you are. I look forward to exploring more with you on the next episode. Thank you for taking the time to revisit old lessons with me, and I hope it gives you more insight into the lessons that have helped shape who you are. I look forward to exploring more with you on the next episode. Before we go, I just want to take a quick moment and reflect. It's been an incredible journey, and I'm only 2 episodes in, and I can reflect on a lot between episode 1 and this episode. This episode is significantly shorter than episode 1, and that's because I'm trying to get into a more natural flow of how I talk, how I approach things, how I act. The first episode felt like I was trying my best to be more deliberate, be more slow, and it felt like I'd drawn out the episode. I definitely want to revisit being the cost of being right in the future, but I think I'm going to let it sit and see the difference as I go along. Again, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day in order to, you know, listen to this podcast, whether you're at home or you're in your commute or in your car, wherever you choose to listen to me. I appreciate, and I say this with as much gratitude as I can. As I get improve, you'll improve as well. But also on the flip side, I sincerely hope that I am connecting with you, or the topics are connecting with you, and it's getting you thinking. Remember, the main purpose is for you to be reflective as well. These are my words, and some of this is just my experience, but your experience is important and your experience matters. So definitely take what I'm saying, apply your own truth, apply your own experience, apply your own lessons to the topics that are being expressed. And please definitely reach out. Substacks are put out every Tuesday in order to preview the upcoming Thursday episode. This episode's going to be late because I am up late right now editing it. So I just want to say thank you for taking the time. I greatly appreciate it. And if you can, reach out on the socials. Definitely reach out on the Substack, read the Substacks, whatever your social or your ways to connect. Let me know how the episodes are speaking to you. Be honest. And thank you again for taking the time out to listen to this podcast. See you on the next episode and for the next lesson.